salutations. My mic is not facing me. My mic should be facing me and not the traffic noise, because I happened to make the decision to turn this on and start this while we've got trash being picked up right now. That's great. That was smart. That was a good decision on my part. I think audio's pretty solid. Audio's solid. So we're gonna go ahead, turn this one off. Do I look greasy? I'm just so shiny. I'm a shiny human. I got that glow to me. It's great. I am the reason why people wear highlighter. It's phenomenal. Actually, let's put my phone here, and then put my tablet here. And we're doing it. We're doing it. I have a whole setup now. Okay. They agree. They agree. So, salutations, friends. My name is Brianna Bond, otherwise known as No Ordinary Scholar. Hello. Welcome. Before we get into it, just want to plug myself a couple times. 1 in 10 days, the second book of my series, The Queen of Thieves, Catwalk Criminals, is out and available to read. Go check it out. It's available for pre-order right now. If you haven't read the first book, go read the first book. Let's do it. Number 2, if you look in the description, there is a link to my Discord over there that you are going to get. It's going to essentially be my replacement for social media, as well as a more up-to-date version of a newsletter, a more current version of a newsletter, because I have had just not a great mental situation when it comes to social media, so I've pretty much hopped off of it entirely, and I don't want to go back. But, so that's why I don't use social media, and my issue with a newsletter is I don't want to send out a newsletter just to be like, hey guys, I'm gonna go stream, hey guys, here's like my updated TBR, and I just feel like that's a waste. I also, fucking mopeds, I also feel like that's just not a good use of your inbox space. That's not an email I would personally want to open, so I have the Discord, so that way you can pop into it just to check all the notifications, and I also think a Discord community would be a safer space than social media. And so that's gonna be, I'll be able to, I also cannot like update and send newsletters and stuff via my phone, which is like a major turnoff for me. So we are going to be using the Discord to just like send out like, hey everybody, like this is my streaming schedule. I was able to a couple weeks ago send out my plans for the 2 streams that I did last week, as well as the stream that I was doing today. Just throw that out here ahead of time for you guys. And so I'll be able to keep you up to date with that, let you know when things are changing, stuff like that. I just don't jive with social media well, and so we're gonna do a Discord, and there you can there are also channels for us to discuss more daily life things. So yeah, that's quick plugs really quick. Now let's get into this book, okay? Doctor Who Pest Control. Probably should start out by explaining what Doctor Who is, because not only am I a nerd, I am a geek. So Doctor Who is this British sci-fi show. It's a real old show. I want to say probably maybe 60 years old this show is. So Doctor Who, the idea is you have this alien called a Time Lord. He travels in a time and relative dimensions in space called the TARDIS. It is a spaceship. It looks like a police box. And so the Doctor is traveling through time and space, usually with a human companion, or at least in the new series it is. Disclaimer, I have not seen any of the original series, nor have I seen any of the female Doctor, I don't think I finished the second Peter Capaldi series. So it's just the Doctor and their companion popping around through time and space, saving lives, saving planets usually, honestly. And that's the gist. That's the gist of the adventures. Oh, major thing is a Time Lord. When they die, they regenerate. So they essentially just get a whole new body, personality, everything. And so that's a good way, as TV Sins describe it, that's like a really good way to breathe fresh life into the show, is to really completely change the main character but still keep the core of that character the same. And so I would just like to say I'm willing to start a fight right now. I'm gonna tell you guys my favorite doctors in order. So my favorite is number 10, David Tennant, followed by Peter Capaldi, then Matt Smith, then Christopher Eccleston. Again, I haven't seen the female doctor, so I have no real opinion about her because I've never seen her work. But yeah, so that's Doctor Who. That's what Doctor Who is. In Pest Control, the Doctor and his current companion, Donna, they like find themselves in the middle of a war. And it is between centaurs, which are the indigenous people of this planet, and humans who are invading. And it's not a quote, because I don't remember exactly what they said, and it's an audiobook, so my abilities with audio comprehension are definitely my worst of my senses. But it's approximately, what they say is approximately, the situation is the beauties of human curiosity and exploration mixed with the brutalities of settlement, which, I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty common storyline throughout it. And I do find praise to be had, and I have no commentary on the idea of, because for the most part, like, settlement was all white people, and I can very easily see that over time as we explore space. I'm sure the cast of characters for this episode was a diverse cast. They relatively tend to be, but I can see it being a diverse group of people, but all of those people together are now becoming the dangers of settlement and the cruelties of settlement. In the show, it shows itself as literally take no prisoners in this war, kill anyone you see on spot, and 99% of the time the officers that give these orders are nowhere near the battlefield. Whereas when you see the centaurs, the leader of the centaurs is at the front line because he's trying to protect his people, he's trying to protect his home. And I can see that becoming a thing with the humans as a whole, to like engage in these brutalities of settlement, because I don't know if you've seen my social survival skills video. It is a thing throughout history because humans just have a desire and a need naturally to want to be a part of the group. That is how our survival has always worked. And so there's also a lot of times when in social situations that for the sake and for you to be able to fit in with a group, it requires you and encourages you to further oppress and attack someone else. You see that when the nerd gets a chance to bully someone else, they often take it. That happens with people of mental illness as well. Someone that's depressed themselves, has been abused themselves, will abuse someone else to feel as if to feel the chance to be not the abused. And you saw it in oppression when you had, a lot of people don't know, and I did research on this, but when we started first having schools, hard sciences were the laughing stocks. The hard sciences were not taken seriously. Hard sciences were despised as being not worthy of being in the schools and stuff like that, until a scientific study came out saying black people had smaller brains than white people. You had a lot of races join in on the attacking of Muslims after 9/11, and I only have one account of this, and it's from a Trevor Noah bit, but you have him in that situation being kind of sold out by a Muslim man when Ebola was out, and Trevor Noah is from Africa, and so you have this Muslim man selling him out as the African on the plane because now there's a new target. And that's just something that happens in general, that's a human tendency, is to not want to be the butt of the joke. My computer is lagging, but that happens. You see that a lot, so I don't have any doubts that this would happen when it comes to human settlement across the stars. But so there's that. In the middle of a war, they end up splitting up. Donna stays with the humans, and she finds out that this lady, I don't know her name. I don't know the names of anyone except for the Doctor and Donna from this book. But Donna stays with the humans, and she finds out that this lady is doing something that is literally magically healing all of the soldiers to almost new in an instant. They bring a girl back who is near death, has had her leg, like a giant robot stepped on her leg, and obviously that's gonna, no, that's not something you really just brush off. And so they bring her back, and it seems like it's only been like an hour or two. She comes back not even limping, just with some real bad headaches. So that's what's happening with the humans. The centaurs have actually come and attacked the base at the moment that Donna and the Doctor get there, because they wanted to steal supplies from the humans. And the supply truck they steal had the TARDIS on it, the time and relative dimensions in space. The spaceship. And so he follows them, gets thrown in their jail, and when he's in their jail talking to the centaurs, he finds out that these humans are turning into bugs. And because that is a bigger threat, and the centaurs are not going to just leave them there to die, they release him, and he's able to help find out that the humans are turning into bugs, and this massive robot is wandering around the planet trying to exterminate these bugs and kind of killing anything that gets in the way. We find out that the lady has done something to mutate herself and make herself the queen of these bugs, and is infecting humans with these bugs so that way they can take over and repopulate on this planet, because they have been exterminated almost everywhere else. But the purpose of these bugs is to literally, they're parasites. They burrow and like grow inside of a human until they explode the human. They kind of mutate the human into one of these bugs, and they just keep going on like that. And so she's just waiting till they get enough queens to be able to take over the whole planet and then spread. I will say, that's kind of the explanation they give, but that really does not explain how you're taking these nearly dead people that like have broken limbs and bullet wounds and stuff, and then just brush them off and they're fine by just infecting them with these bugs. I didn't feel like that was explained well. So you have that issue. You have the issue of this lady's turning everyone to the bugs, and they've had a couple queens come out and be made, but those were destroyed by the robot, and this robot is again going to destroy everything in the way of exterminating all of these bugs. In the end, the robot destroyed, the Doctor is able to make a cure for everyone that has been infected, so that way they don't turn into bugs. Happy ending. I was looking at the reviews for this book, and for the most part, everyone loves the book, mostly because David Tennant himself, who played the 10th Doctor, is the narrator of the book, and he does phenomenally. As the narrator, he speaks in his normal Scottish accent, but then he switches over to his British for the Doctor, and another accent for Donna that is quite spot on. So that was pretty much everyone's favorite part. There were also some comments saying that this is just a generic story of you have these two people like fighting and then they get together to fight a bigger bad. But for me, I feel like there were some things that kind of made it not feel like that type of way in the story. Because the bigger bad, there were technically two bigger bads. One of the bigger bads was a part of the human army, because the lady that she was the doctor that they were having heal all of the soldiers. But as she did that, she was infecting them with this. So that felt different. You also had the fact that it's not like people just like, it's not like just everyone was like, oh my god, there's someone else bigger that we have to worry about. You have a lot of these soldiers who are on the ground who already didn't really feel like, a lot of the human soldiers didn't really feel like this was the way to handle this war. They didn't want this fight that they were having. And then you have the centaurs who have just been invaded. They're just trying to protect themselves. But you have this very, let's be honest, he's quite the racist. This very racist military commander who is super into the war. He is referring to the centaurs as the devils on horseback. He's explicitly spends like 5 minutes talking shit about people, because again, they've already explored the galaxy, so he's talking shit about people who are not 100% human, who have been mating with other species. And you have this man who is really the driving force of the fight, who is saying, I want to kill them all, I want you to kill them on spot, when that's not what a lot of the soldiers would want. They're just carrying out orders, which, bleh, we don't like that here. We don't like that here. But that's not their ideal. And when given the doctor who is able to like be a voice of reason and be someone that can agree with the more, I guess, quote unquote humane side to them, and can be someone who can stand up, who can be an authority figure, really, who can stand for that side, you do see them pretty quickly transfer over to, because when they capture the lead of the centaurs, they do that, and they were going to kill him, but the doctor's like, he's right here, he's unarmed, stuff like that, and so they pretty quickly just decide to bring him back to the camp. And then you have this, the commander who wants to kill them, and the commander who, again, is so far away from the front lines, but it is still his catch. It is he is the one who captured this man, or the centaur, and he immediately wants to kill them. But when he realizes that everyone's turning into bugs, and that it is his doctor that is causing all of this, he wants to kill her now. But he ends up dying, and that's really the main way. That is the main thing that allows them to actually start working together, is the death of that commander. Because I think he just gets killed by a bug. I think one of the bugs. I think so. And I'm talking like 6 or 7 foot tall bugs. But so I feel like it's not these people had a bigger bad to fight from. I feel like it was a lot of people who were pretty much under the sentence of, who were fighting. The centaurs were fighting just because they had to defend themselves, and then you had this group of humans that were fighting until they had the space to not. Like, I feel like whether or not there was the big bad of the bugs or the big bad of the robot, I feel like once you get this commander out of the way, that was really what was driving everyone to fight and to be so brutal, because without him, then you would have had them taking hostages, discussing things, and being diplomatic about things once you take this bloodthirsty man out of the equation. And that's really why I felt like it was more than just the we have to fight, stop the bigger bad. I liked the book. It was only 2 hours long. That's why I was so sure I'd be able to stream about it this week. I definitely read almost exactly like an episode of Doctor Who. There were sound effects. The TARDIS sound was my favorite thing. It was great. It was a great read. I would probably read it again. I for sure would love to read some of the other books. I think there were only like 3 in my library. I got this from the library. I think there were only like 3 in the library. And this was the only one that was read by one of the actors of the show, by David Tennant. And David Tennant was the 10th Doctor, my favorite Doctor. So, of course, I jumped at the opportunity to read this book. There are also a couple books that I threw in a TBR list on my Libby app because David Tennant also narrates those, and we just love David Tennant. But yeah, so that was Doctor Who Pest Control. I gave it a 5 out of 5 because I'm a geek, and this is amazing. It was amazing. I've missed David Tennant so much. So it was great to be able to read more from him. At the moment, I've started El Sobrino del Mago, which is the Spanish translation of The Magician's Nephew. And I'm very intimidated by this book. As I actually do it, I find myself being able to read longer and longer chunks without having to translate stuff, but definitely have Spanish dictionary on hand. This will definitely take quite a while to get through, so do not expect do not expect this book and this stream soon. Just throwing that out there, just warning you, this stream will not happen soon. So I will try to keep you updated again on Discord. I will try and do, hopefully I'm editing this video to go on the vlog channel right now, and it's a multicam video, and it's my first ever multicam video, which not gonna lie, it's taking a lot of time. I barely really gotten started on it, but hopefully we'll be able to get it out to you guys and get it uploaded in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, so that's a thing. And I do, of course, I've been doing little chat streams on my Twitch, and when I do those, I upload them onto my vlog channel. I have one that I've just been, it's like half lazy and half I keep forgetting to upload to the vlog channel, so that should come out. I kind of want to wait until next week to put it out in case I don't do another one recently, because it's essentially like a 30-minute chat that's supposed to be a much better alternative to doing a story. And I've been enjoying them. I just don't always have a ton of things to talk about, or really anything to talk about, because I'm not a talkative human. So that'll come out eventually whenever I get myself to do it. But yeah, that's the plan right now. I do have a main channel video that should be going up on Patreon today or tomorrow, so that's exciting. And yeah, that's it for me right now. Again, don't forget, check out my Discord. Queen of Thieves Catwalk Criminals is on pre-order right now. Will be available in 10 days. Thank you so much for being here, and until next time, valedictions, friends.